okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself.
Canelo Alvarez fired back at Terence Crawford during their press conference, asserting that Crawford is not on his level. He criticized fighters who aim only to survive 12 rounds without truly engaging, arguing that such cautious strategies lead to dull fights and let fans down by failing to deliver the excitement they expect. Former world champion Kell Brook, who has first-hand experience with both Crawford and Gennady Golovkin, issued a strong warning about the challenges Crawford will face against Canelo. Brook pointed out that this bout will be unlike anything Crawford has experienced before. He emphasized that Canelo's fighting style is unique, combining power, ring IQ, and tactical adaptability in a way that sets him apart. While Crawford relies on speed and technical skill, Brook noted that Canelo's physical strength and strategic depth present a whole new level of danger.
It's a wow. It's a wow fight. It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other. But you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin. There's a big difference. Especially with someone that fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champions, it's okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring.
Brook emphasized that Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight and physically impose is what makes him an exceptionally difficult opponent. He explained that going up against a strong, versatile fighter like Canelo demands a completely different mindset and level of preparation. According to Brook, the attributes that have favored Crawford in the past may not be enough this time. His message to Crawford was unmistakable. Canelo is not like anyone he's faced before. This is a new and far more dangerous challenge.
He's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know. I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his ring generalship. He's got confidence, he's big.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley has expressed strong confidence in Canelo Alvarez's chances of defeating Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's extraordinary talent and impressive record, Lampley highlighted Canelo's blend of experience, physical strength, and mental toughness as key advantages in this matchup. Lampley pointed to Canelo's track record of facing and defeating elite opponents across multiple weight divisions, noting that his ring IQ and ability to control the pace and space of a fight often allow him to dictate the rhythm. This, Lampley emphasized, could prove to be a decisive factor. He also praised Canelo's defensive skills and counterpunching ability, suggesting these tools could effectively neutralize Crawford's offensive tactics. Ultimately, Lampley's analysis suggests that while Crawford is undeniably skilled, Canelo's well-rounded and battle-tested game gives him a clear edge in what promises to be a high-stakes showdown.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. Before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Terence Crawford's career is a testament to his exceptional talent and accomplishments. He has consistently showcased elite boxing skills, power, and the ability to adapt in the ring, earning his place among the sport's top fighters. However, there's a paradox in how Crawford's style is perceived. Within boxing circles, his technical mastery and tactical intelligence are widely respected. But among the general audience, these qualities often go underappreciated. Casual fans tend to gravitate toward flashier, more aggressive fighters, and Crawford's calculated, methodical approach doesn't always deliver the kind of explosive action they expect. Crawford excels at blending defense, sharp counterpunching, and strategic pressure, controlling fights with precision rather than sheer aggression. While this style is highly effective, it's sometimes criticized for lacking entertainment value. As a result, many fans fail to fully recognize or appreciate the depth of skill Crawford brings to the ring.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass.
Boxing analyst Brian McIntyre offers a contrasting perspective on the highly anticipated clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Canelo's elite skill and experience, Bomac firmly believes that Crawford's superior technical abilities give him the upper hand. According to Bomac, Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship set him apart. He emphasized that Crawford's mental focus and meticulous preparation have been key factors throughout his career. This sharp mindset, paired with his refined skill set, enables Crawford to control the tempo of fights and outthink his opponents. Bomac recognizes that Canelo's power, durability, and veteran savvy make him a formidable challenge. However, he contends that if Crawford can stick to his game plan and execute with the discipline he's known for, his strategic approach and technical proficiency could be the deciding factors. This analysis highlights that the bout may unfold more as a cerebral, tactical chess match than a straightforward showdown of brute force.
This fight with Canelo Alvarez, it was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for Crawford because his pound for pound abilities. And apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here, and maybe we'll catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
Canelo Alvarez, business manager, renowned for overseeing one of the most lucrative careers in boxing, recently made bold statements about Canelo's physical edge ahead of the Crawford showdown. He emphasized that Canelo possesses a uniquely resilient physique, specifically built to absorb punishment and minimize damage, a rare trait that distinguishes him from most fighters in the sport.
I hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. He didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter. And you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller. But when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, he's moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence.
According to the manager, Canelo's conditioning, muscle structure, and defensive awareness have enabled him to avoid serious injury, even when facing powerful opponents. This durability is considered a key advantage that could be decisive against Crawford, who is known to be physically smaller and less imposing. The manager also pointed to Crawford's recent performances to suggest that Crawford may lack the physicality required to overcome Canelo's strong frame and resilience.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he is the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger.
Analysts universally recognize Terence Crawford as an exceptional fighter with elite skills and sharp ring intelligence. However, the upcoming bout poses significant challenges, especially since Crawford is moving up in weight to face Canelo, who is widely regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing history. Experts believe Crawford will rely heavily on his trusted game plan, as making major adjustments at this stage of his career, particularly when moving to a higher weight class. could be risky and potentially harmful. Crawford's style has consistently focused on precise counterpunching and tactical patience, which he is expected to maintain against Canelo. The challenge of adapting to a new weight while facing a physically imposing and experienced champion like Canelo creates a complex dynamic. Analysts suggest that Crawford's success will depend largely on his ability to execute his familiar strategy effectively without overextending himself.
How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound for pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Nico Ali Walsh, a promising young boxer and commentator, has shared his perspective on the fight, emphasizing just how closely matched the contest is. Walsh highlighted Crawford's recent sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters, which demonstrated his ability to handle larger opponents, potentially giving him an advantage against the bigger Canelo. This insight adds depth to the discussion, suggesting that Crawford has actively prepared to offset the size and power gap through intense training and experience with heavier sparring partners. Walsh believes this preparation makes the fight a genuine 50-50 scenario, where either fighter could come out on top. His analysis captures the unpredictability and excitement of the matchup, with both fighters bringing unique strengths and challenges, making it tough to confidently predict a winner.
Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow box.
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offers a balanced take on the Canelo versus Crawford debate. He recognizes Canelo's clear advantages in power, size, and physical strength, key factors in any fight, but equally praises Crawford's technical skill, ring IQ, speed, and passion as formidable weapons. Atlas describes the matchup as a true clash of styles and strengths, where raw physicality meets technical mastery. He highlights that both fighters possess qualities that could sway the outcome, making it a highly competitive and evenly matched fight. According to Atlas, The result will ultimately depend on which fighter executes their strategy more effectively on fight night, making this a genuine 50-50 contest with strong arguments supporting either side's chance of victory.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. There's a tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. A unified champion that he's been. All of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more coming soon.